Welcome to the Quick 10 podcast, brought to you by Quick Track, focusing on all things FedCon and cyber defense from different perspectives and different personalities, all in 10-ish minutes. Here's your host, Derek White.
Welcome back to another episode of the Quick 10 podcast, day one of CUI-CON 2026, or CUI-CON, whatever you want to call it, in Orlando here in February. So I am joined this time by Wesley Reinhart of CompassMSP, the CMMC Program Manager.
Yes.
Got that right. Nice. Beauty of doing these in person at events like this that are dedicated to the industry and the ecosystem is I get to meet new people. Yeah. So I think familiar with you guys a little bit from conversations over the years, but have not met you yet. So thank you for stepping aside from the chaos for a couple minutes. These are brief 10-minute conversations so that people can learn a little something about what you guys do, and then we can send them your way when we're done. Talk a little bit about your role, about what Compass does, and then what your role specifically is. I think that'll cater into some really good topic points.
Sure. So CompassMSP is a large MSP that handles clients with different frameworks, different needs, from HIPAA, high trust to SOC 2 to CMMC. We noticed as the CMMC rules were coming out that our normal MSP model doesn't necessarily support the way CMMC clients need to be handled. So I was tasked with standing up a MSP within our MSP. We call it the CMMC pod, nice. Where instead of using the normal large-scale enterprise tools that MSPs use to manage clients, we approach them with compliant tools that we access from a compliant space using compliant people. So that way, we can still maintain some of the efficiencies of an MSP for our clients, but without all the non-compliant parts of it.
And probably helping them narrow in who's a fit for that versus maybe who's a fit for a different approach.
Yes,
okay.
Exactly. So, one of the first things we do when we have conversations with the client is scope them to see what their needs are, see what's driving them to CMMC, see if it's even a good idea for them to pursue it based on the amount of business that they're receiving from it. Mm-hmm. And from that, we help them on their journey all the way from onboarding and intake to getting the tools rolled out, making sure all their policies, procedures, artifacts are collected, and then provide full assessment support to sit beside them while they're talking to their C3PAOs.
Nice. So definitely offering the services to help them documentation-wise, not just dropping a package on them and tell them to have a nice life.
Correct.
You guys all get the hands-on experience with you and the team? Yeah,
so in addition to our techs that run the actual pod, I have a team of compliance analysts and VCISOs that help me make sure that these clients have everything they need to be compliant and to pass their assessment, where hopefully if we do our jobs right, our clients shouldn't have to say anything at the assessment other than I am the OSC's authorizing official. I'm going to turn it over to my compliance partner, Compass.
So the CRM becomes a very important thing for you guys for that aspect of the provider side, correct?
Yeah, so the CRM is something that it is important, and we start from a template from it, but based on the compliant needs and the other toolings that our clients have, we adjust that because it's not just one size fits all for a right. CRM.
Nice. When it comes to prepping, are you seeing then with that type of approach the mock assessment being more adopted, and have you guys have seen benefits from having those performed prior to going to the formal assessment with the C3PO?
That's probably one of my favorite things that has started happening more frequently. When we started this, it was straight just prepare, get your scoping call, and go to the assessment and hope for the best. So a mock assessment, if done right, can basically give you the good warm fuzzy that everything you have has been captured and correct, and will give you time to go back and correct it. 100%. So mock assessment, I would recommend that to anyone that's looking to pursue their level 2 assessment.
Will you help organizations who are new to this identify scope, potential scope, contract language? Will you get into that level of detail with them before decisions are made on product and solutioning?
We definitely will. Before I joined Compass, I was a DoD civilian, and part of my job was contracting. So I'm very familiar with looking through the DFARS clauses, making sure what applies, what doesn't apply. And then from that, when we scope them, we try to narrow their CUI enclave and use down to as small workflow as we can, because And the small to medium-sized business space, cost is a huge driver for them. So if we can make something as small as we can, that equals less cost to implement, less cost to maintain, and less to document, and less chances to get tripped up on an assessment.
Yeah, no, definitely speaking our language there with how that goes, because it is the old tale of if you let someone do something, they're probably going to do it.
Right.
And so any kind of built for boundary control and access control is obviously the first thing, but if you can get someone else to understand what the CRM actually is and does at an organizational level, it does help them, I think, we strongly believe, help them go to market more with what kind of contracts and opportunities they want to bring on if it's not just the one that they're working on.
Right.
And we've seen a lot of that, I think, in the last 12 months too, is, I have this contract with X and I want to have a contract with Y now that I'm CMMC level 2 or going to be. And that workflow is different.
Yes.
And now their tools are different, and the collaboration is different. Understanding that prior to making, which are pretty big investment decisions, not just from a money perspective per se, to your point, but also just from a workflow business perspective. Like, what do you want to chase? What kind of work do you want to do? If you want to sell it to the Army and the Navy, but it's different work, different systems, you have to be able to communicate with both of those. So that's good to hear, because I think that's a big thing. It's easy to say, here's a statement of work with check every box you want, and we'll charge you whatever we need to get you there. It's hard on you guys too.
Right.
That's hard on the resources at a provider side as much as it is on the OSC, who doesn't know left from right, so they're just whatever you tell them to do. So are you seeing that kind of clear up a little bit more of the ahas come a little earlier in the conversation than they probably were a year or two ago?
Yes, we are, and I think conferences like this do a lot to help the OSCs realize what they need, and it also gives us the tools as providers to go back and talk to them in language that's easier for them to understand. We're seeing, as far as workflows changing, even with the existing contracts, we've had issues with manufacturing firms that have been doing business with a prime government contractor for years, where now that they're beholden to these CMMC rules, the same product that they're delivering is beholden to different workflows and different processes that they're not equipped to handle as a small manufacturing firm. So I think that's where a relationship with a MSP like Compass that has a MSP pod within the MSP to handle CMMC, but can still leverage the knowledge that the rest of the MSP has, helps us out a lot.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you for spending a few minutes here, stepping aside. Again, that's the kind of stuff that we like to hear. More solutions. There's so many different ways to skin a cat right now that if you're an OSC that's confused or just nervous about looking and spending 10 hours on 10 calls with 10 providers, yes. We do some of this to maybe help you navigate what you just heard here from Wes might be, that yeah. Sounds great. I think I want to talk to Wes. You can talk to us first, or we can send you to Wes too. It doesn't matter. Where do people go? Where do you want to send them to learn more about what you guys do and connect with you?
Yeah, sure. So you can reach out to me at the CompassMSP website. We have lots of information on it. Or you can reach out to my email at wreinhart, WREINHART, at CompassMSP.com. Love to hear from you, talk to you about any issues you're having, and see if we can come to a solution for you.
All right. Thanks, Wes. Thanks for being on, and we'll have you on again.
Yes, sir.
Take care.
Thank you for listening to this episode, and make sure to subscribe to the Cuick 10 podcast wherever you get your podcasts. For more information about Cuick Track, visit our website at www.cuicktrack.com.